Since the collapse of communism, hooliganism's been an issue here. And by all accounts, the Krakow derby is as hard as it gets. Wisła Krakow versus Cracovia, otherwise known in these parts as the Holy War. Krakow used to be the capital of Poland, and no doubt helped by the number of British stag doos that were coming here, tourism was booming. Not a bad gaff, this Krakow, I must say. It's quite smart. But there was another darker side to the city, not always obvious at first glance. Krakow has two football teams, Wisła and Cracovia. Their firms are two of the most notorious hooligan gangs in the country, living out a 24/7 war in Krakow. They were Wisła Sharks and Cracovia's firm, called Anty Wisla. Their hatred was so intense that Cracovia even named their firm against their enemy. It could kick off between these two anywhere, and while firms in other parts of the country disapproved of weapons, in the hooligan world, Krakow was known as the city of knives.
Back on tour, 1, 2, 3, we all back on tour, you better wake up.
The main battleground was in and around the housing estates across the city. For people living here, the collapse of communism had brought a failing economy and high unemployment, especially among young people. It was a breeding ground for hooligan gangs. These estates were known locally as blocks. The tougher estates, in a similar way to the projects of New York, inspired a Polish hip-hop movement that aimed to reflect their world. These estates supported one club or the other. You could find one supporting Cracovia, next door to an estate dominated by Wisła, which meant violence could happen anywhere, anytime. Zemek took me on a walk around one of these blocks. Okay, so this will be the Azori estate.
Yeah.
Could you just explain to me a little bit about which club would own this estate?
Well, it's a typical Wisła football club area.
Wisła, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you know, the whole town, the whole city is divided into territories.
So, if anybody supported Cracovia, they wouldn't come to this estate, no?
Well...
Or if they did, they'd be stupid, would they?
Yeah, it would be...
Stupid move,
risky,
yeah?
and stupid, yeah.
So, just looking around, would the hooligans live here, yeah?
Yeah.
Most of them, yeah? So well, there could be eyes watching us now, yeah? Graffiti was all over the gaff, and a fair bit was aimed at Cracovia, of course. Let's start with this here. What does this mean? Something about Cracovia, obviously.
It can be translated like Cracovia is like a whore who receives everybody.
Okay, quite a bad diss. The Krakow derby is 100 years old, making it the oldest derby in Polish football. Now the teams are just 500 metres apart, separated by this piece of park. Wisła, Cracovia. Now they're constantly in each other's faces, making the city particularly tense. Krakow's hooligans' love of knives has led to bloodshed and deaths. In 1998, a knife was thrown by a Wisła fan at Italian international Dino Baggio during the UEFA Cup match between Wisła and Parma. Baggio needed 5 stitches to a head wound. While there were deaths on the streets of Krakow, in the 18 months leading up to this derby, 8 fans died in football-related incidents. And these included a 21-year-old Wisła fan who was stabbed to death after last season's derby. I was walking straight into a war zone.